All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I just want to talk about this video. I saw this video just going viral on Facebook. Let me see, get the name. It's called Kids Meet Someone Who Has an Abortion. And just from the title, you can tell what it's about. Kids are meeting. I think this is actually the lady or one of the ladies who started the movement called Shout Your Abortion, okay? And in this video, it's very troubling just to see this, agenda being taught to children, and children aren't going to be able to defend themselves either way. So, but I think there were some things that even troubling for at least one of the kids. He was like, you'll see in the beginning here, but yeah, I thought it was very disturbing how this is being taught to children. You can definitely see she's proud that the fact she's murdered her child. Let's be real, what happened, and pretty much trying to normalize it to children. And so, with that said, I just want to get right into it. Let's get it going. All right.
Think that sometimes it's not okay to have an abortion?
I want to say if you're being reckless, if there's nothing wrong going on.
I don't know. I just don't agree.
You can see this kid is like, what? You think it's okay even if you're being reckless and there's nothing wrong with the child, you still can kill it? And he's like, I mean, this is just a perfect snapshot of his face right here. Yeah, I mean, that's right. I think that's the proper reaction. She's saying, hey, no matter what, you should be able to kill your child. She's disagreeing with that statement he just made, which I thought, was pretty good. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to kill your baby if you're being reckless. You shouldn't be able to kill your baby if you're just doing whatever you want. I don't think you should be able to kill a child even if there is something wrong, or if you're not being reckless. And so, but she's definitely disagreeing. So. All right, there you go.
So what are we here to talk about today?
Well, I had an abortion.
Oh.
So what do you know, or what have you heard about abortion?
I don't exactly know what happens, but you go and...
Well, let me tell you what happens even before you explain. It's where, they go to the doctor and they mutilate this baby limb from limb. They suck the baby out, they kill it. So yeah, it's a pretty horrific, thing that happens. And so they're going to all explain what, think happens.
Basically get rid of the baby from inside you.
What have you heard?
By get rid of the baby, kill the baby.
That.
Same thing. Have you ever talked to somebody about abortion before?
I actually wrote a paper in 5th grade about it.
Wow. What was your paper about?
Abortion is okay. And it also depends on what's happening and why they got the abortion.
So you think it's okay depending on the circumstances?
Yes.
You can tell even she doesn't even like that. Even though I disagree with the young man, she's like, nuh-uh. The circumstance shouldn't even matter. If I just want to kill this child because I want to live the life I want to live, I should be able to do that. She's going a lot further than he is, and she's like, no. She doesn't even like that limitation, that restriction. She should be able to kill the child whenever she wants.
Why did you have an abortion?
A few years ago, I got pregnant, and I really didn't want to have a baby.
May I ask what?
Oh wow, that's a great reason. Thankfully, I'm thankful that many mothers don't think like that, and I'm thankful your mother didn't think like that.
Happened? Did he not wear a condom? Did the condom break? Was it pre-ejaculation?
Such good questions, Vanessa. He wasn't wearing a condom.
Why wasn't he wearing a condom?
Have you ever had two options and one of them seems easier at the time?
Oh yeah. Like you could take a shortcut or you could go the long way.
It was the shortcut version.
What did your partner think at the time?
I think we were both bummed out that I got pregnant, and he was just supportive of what I...
Bummed out. That's, describing a child being formed in the womb. Bummed out that happened. And, he was very supportive in, her wanting to get rid of the baby, i.e. kill it, so that they wouldn't have any responsibilities and have to take care of this child.
trying to do.
Were you reckless at the time?
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, of course she was. You know, she's having unprotected sex with her boyfriend. I mean, what do you think was going to happen? I mean, this is always a potentiality when you do this. So, but they were shocked and surprised when the baby came and were like, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, let's kill it.
I wouldn't really say that I was being reckless. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And
Mistakes. That's what the child's being called a mistake. She ain't talking about the sex. She's talking about, the child being formed as a result of that. That was the mistake.
And sometimes you just don't do that in the moment. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I'm glad.
Too young to understand.
When you have an abortion, what exactly do you do to like have the abortion?
You go to the doctor and they put this little straw inside of your cervix and then inside of your uterus, and then they just suck the pregnancy out. And
I kill the baby. Terminate the baby. Terminate the child. You know, it's not like, oh, well, there's this, I don't know. She's making it describe like it's some kind of nebulous thing going on there. We don't really know what's happened. We're just pregnant. I mean, yeah, you're pregnant with a child. There's a child, so you're expecting a child. You know, you suck the pregnancy out. No, you suck the child you're pregnant with.
it was like a crappy dentist.
I love that girl's face. She's kind of like, wow, that sounds painful, excruciating. Yeah, it is for the child. But then she goes on to describe the appointment about killing the baby as a sucky dentist appointment. No, they're not the same. One, you're dealing with, your teeth, and one, you're dealing with the child you're supposed to happen to have, so they're not even on the same level.
Or something. It was just like, this is like a body thing that's kind of uncomfortable, but then it was over, and I felt really just grateful that I wasn't pregnant anymore.
Grateful that you killed the child, Grateful that the child you were once going to have is dead.
I've gotten into many an internet argument about it. Facebook, Instagram, just all the social media.
That's the place where that goes down.
It's so taboo to a lot of folks, and I don't know why.
Because people like me see it as killing a child. That'll become repetitive over this, So why are people upset? Because you're killing a child. You're murdering a human being. So yeah, that's pretty taboo for people who still have moral faculties that are working. That you would shout your abortion, that you will be happy about this moment and joyous.
You think that sometimes it's not okay to have an abortion?
I want to say if you're being reckless, if there's nothing wrong going on.
I don't know. I just don't agree. Do we want people to just have all those babies?
No.
See how easily he convinced he was? Well, I guess we don't want a lot of people having babies, as if that's a bad thing. That's straight out of Margaret Sanger's handbook, that's having a lot of children was actually a bad thing. Especially for black kids or black people. So, young man, you better, you might not want to agree with Margaret Sanger's philosophies there. She probably wouldn't want you around. But nevertheless, what's wrong with having a lot of children? I'm sure she would say things, oh, there are, too many is a burden, financial costs. It's a human being we're talking about. These aren't accessories, so that's not really an argument for why you should be able to kill the child.
So what do we do with them?
Put them up.
Murder them! That's her answer. You murder the child. And he's like, well, you give them up for adoption? That's a way better answer, by the way. But listen to her answer.
Adoption.
I feel like if I am forced to create life, I have lost the right to my own life.
So if you're not able to kill the child, your life has no meaning? Like you don't really have value? That's absurd. That's very absurd.
Be the one to decide if my body creates a life. even if you're giving a kid up for adoption, you still like have a kid out there somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Are you religious at all?
I believe in God.
What do you think that God thinks about abortion?
If I were to say, I think like he's fine with it because there are still babies being born. What do you think God thinks about it?
No, young man. God's not like, oh, I'm okay with murder because, other babies are, being born. No. He hates it. But look at her answer.
Abortion.
I think it's all part of God's plan.
That's smarter than what I said.
God is not pleased with the killing of children. So, I mean, yeah, so she said, well, I don't know what she means by it's part of God's plan. I mean, as if like he commanded it to happen, or I mean, he's just okay with it, what it happened. I don't, she would have to define that a little more, but no, God is not okay with you murdering your child. I mean, God's pretty clear in the law on what he thinks about, I'm sorry, I'm using what he says about murdering. And so, yeah.
I really was just thinking about Drake when I said that. Are you guys religious?
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Have you ever heard of what like the Catholic Church thinks about abortion?
I don't think the church liked it.
Yeah.
Because like they like see it as like killing the baby.
What do you guys think?
I think that it's up to you.
Same.
Because
I feel support.
It's up to you whether you want to, murder your child, to get rid of the child, so not up to God, because that was the contrast in this, they're having a religious conversation over it, not up to God. It's up to you. You're more autonomous. You get to decide, not what God has said.
By that, I believe that like life begins when a person has a baby.
Oh.
Clearly, like some people believe that life begins at conception.
Which it doesn't.
Do you know what conception? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you
When
know
a
about
sperm
Goes
enters an egg,
into the egg.
it becomes a fetus, and then the fetus is in a lady's tummy, or in the womb. It's not really a human being yet.
Actually, fetus is Latin for small child, so you're using a Latin phrase to say it's not really human, so and I know she's a young lady, so I'm definitely going to be more respectful to her than the lady in the middle, because she knows, well, I don't know if she knows all this, but she should know all this, but she's kind of playing down to their ignorance. The child in the womb is still a child. The fetus in the womb is it's not, what do you think it is? It's a child. It's developing, just as actually when you're born, you're still developing. So the argument seems to be if you're still developing, you're not really human. Well, that's the case. I mean, you might not be really human to what, 30? I mean, because you're still developing, and then actually you start de-developing. You start getting older. So does that mean you're not human then? Silly argument.
how I feel.
Yeah, I kind of like to compare it to like a sea cucumber. It's not thinking, it's just living. It's like your arm is not capable of complex thought. Neither is a baby inside your.
Okay, so if you're not able to have complex thought, you're not really a human. So that means people in the comas aren't really human in that time period because they aren't able of complex thinking and reasoning, right? So pull the plug, right? Everyone should have the ability to pull the plug on those people, even if they can make it, because they're dependent on someone else, right? They can't do complex thinking, but that's absurd. And to compare a human with a seed, I mean, I think that shows itself. Just a category error.
I like your take.
At any point were you like considering not doing it?
No, actually, for me, it was like an instant.
I've always wanted to
feeling.
kill my
like,
child.
I was like, I'm pregnant. Okay, I'm having an abortion.
was your family mad or okay? Or?
They were okay. Yeah, they were like really supportive, which I think was another reason I wasn't scared, is because I knew that I had so much support.
Have you told a lot of people or just your host family?
I told my Lyft driver on my way here. I've told so many people about
Yeah,
my
she
abortion.
shouted her
So
abortion.
I decided to tell everyone on Facebook that I had had an abortion and that I was choosing to tell people that because I felt like the pro-choice movement was really silent. This status update went viral, which like wasn't just people being like, hey, I had an abortion too. Yay, let's talk about it. There were like a lot of super angry people who were like harassing and abusing and threatening me.
Did that happen? I'm probably sure it did because there are people who are pro-choice, not for reasons I would be, and so you always have ignorant people on both sides. So maybe that happened, but I'm sure most of the responses to her were kind of like what I'm saying, that you're killing this child, you're murdering this child, and that's immoral. And that was probably most of the response given to her, and she's probably caught, overdoing it and saying that's the harassing and people were, being mean to her, and so yeah.
I like to post controversial things. I think everyone should, within reason, have self-autonomy. You know, I'll post.
Wait, within reason? Where are you getting this law from that it should be within reason? I mean, you already give up the reasonable duty of a mother to protect the child and keep the child and raise the child and all these things to nurture the child, and now you're talking about with reason. It's not reasonable for a mother to kill their child.
Facebook sometimes, like, just your friendly reminder that abortion isn't murder.
Have you ever been like attacked online by pro-life people?
Yes, but I don't call them pro-life. I call them anti-choice because who would disagree with that statement, right? Like being pro-life.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you just killed your child, so I mean, you kind of are against it. And it's not anti-choice. We actually want, the child to live. There's a moral responsibility. So in other words, she's pretty much saying if you make a law of something, you're actually getting rid of the choice. Well, would she take that with other things? Of course not. She's being highly inconsistent.
You want people to live their lives.
Yeah. To me, the phrase...
Wait a second. You want people to live their lives? How about that child you just killed? How about the child you just murdered? So you didn't want that person to live their life.
Life is propaganda because often the people that say that don't want to take care of people who have babies that they can't afford and then are totally poor. They want to deprive people of access to healthcare, and I'm just like, that's not... You guys aren't pro-life.
Let's say I grant her argument. How is it reasonable to say, well, if we can't take care of the poor, everyone to have health care, which are category errors, by the way, therefore it's right to kill your child? That's irreasonable. That's illogical. Even if I grant you those things. And I don't believe you should kill someone just because they're going to be raised poor. And secondly, I don't believe healthcare is a right, but I believe it's a privilege. Not everyone, and that's really just a Western 21st century type thing, because up until this point, we see that it wasn't the case.
Life.
Do you think it's
You're not
possible to
pro-life.
be anti-choice for yourself, but pro-choice for others?
Yeah, everyone has a different background with like faith and just how they think about the world, how they think about when life begins. Is it an arm? Is it a sea cucumber? Is it a baby?
Yeah.
We know that you think it's an arm. At the end of the day, it's my body, and the idea that a group of like...
My body, my choice. My body, I get to determine who lives in this.
Old white dudes in the government would tell me, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times.
So now they're going to bring in, this is definitely going to appeal to their audience because, you want to make something wrong. You bring up white male. Well, I guess I'm just a male, so I don't fit the other part. So I'm black, so maybe I get a little more say-so in this. Hope so, at least.
Some old white dude has told me how I should be, how I should look.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're baffled by you.
Well, mainly the thing is, see, no one's telling you how you should look, how you should dress. So that's a straw man. That's not what pro life is. Just telling you not to kill your baby. I mean, what you look like and dress. I mean, do what you do. That's not a. You won't go to jail for those things. Just don't kill your baby. That's what's being said. Don't murder this child.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah, I have a lot. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have one. Do you want to see it?
Oh my god. Nice, it's so rad.
Is it weird, like, being defined by this one thing that you did?
It feels like I'm like living my exact right life. God's plan.
Yeah. Drake.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for talking to me, Sarah.
Of course.
And the reason why she's being identified with it is because of really her own, you know, publicity of it. She's the one that started. People didn't pick her out and say she's the one that made her famous. She's the one that shouted her abortion.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
You too. Thanks, guys.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I definitely hope this video was helpful for you all. Abortion is murder. So I definitely wanted to make a video because of this. Mainly was because they're, you know, just to bring in the children, the propaganda of that, and just trying to belittle it and make it so, you know, the nice little music in the background, and we have all that going for, you know, just to make it, you know, oh, it's not that bad. You're just removing a pregnancy, you know. No, a child is being mutilated. I would definitely tell people to watch the Gosnell movie to see realities of stories that really happen. It's very brutal. It's very sickening. Just the fact that we were once in that state, you know, and praise God, our mothers, everyone watching this video, their mother didn't kill them, you know, in the womb. And so they're a product of a mother who actually cared, unlike, you know, the ladies that started the Shout Your Abortion movement. And so hope that was helpful. While you're at it, check out unpopularthemovie.com. Definitely a good movie to check out. Got the gospel in it, and so it'll explain a lot of these other reasons why I disagree with that as well. So, hey, grace and peace.